Okay, so I just got done watching BoonBoomger Episode 1, the 48th entry into the Super Sentai series, and what are my overall thoughts on this brand new Super Sentai series? Did I love it? Did I hate it? What are my thoughts? Well, I really enjoyed this first episode. It moved at a pretty good fast pace where we're introduced to all the characters very quickly. We understand what the villains do, their motivation, their whole concept. We get a cool mech fight in this first episode, but not only that, we're introduced to our main trio of rangers in this episode. It's more of a red and pink focused episode. Blue's there just kind of as a background character, although he does get a fight scene in this episode when the three of them sort of do their Sentai pose together, which is really cool to see. I did like that bit in the episode, but in this episode, although it's a red and pink focused episode, it's mostly focusing on Pink as she joins the team at the end of this first episode. So the episode opens up with a wedding where you have the Pink Ranger Mirror getting married to what is Yakuza, I think, because when Taya, the Red Ranger, comes in and snatches her away because apparently she's meant to be delivered to another guy, the guy that Mirror is marrying, or supposedly meant to be marrying in the church, he starts crying to his dad, and the dad's like, "Get 'em, boys," and all the wedding guests start putting on their glasses. So I assume they're Yakuza. She was getting married to Yakuza because, they immediately put on their shades and they are all wearing suits, so I assume she was probably getting married to Yakuza. They don't outright say it, but I can assume that it's Yakuza. So while Mira and Taya are driving away, they are soon persuaded by the groomsmen and their father and all the Yakuza thugs, but then suddenly we're introduced to our main villains right away. The Hashians, I believe they're called. I probably butchered that name, but we get a good look at those villains in this first episode. We understand what their motivation is, what they do, what they're like, and stuff like that. And what we see, what they do in this episode is that they are sort of gathering what they call gasoline, or why did I do that? Gasoline, but it's spelled funny. And what that is they're sort of using that gasoline, as they call it, which is the screams of humans, and they use the screams of humans to power up whatever they're powering up, which will probably be revealed to be something much bigger than expected, probably the actual main boss. So we've got this trio of villains, and no doubt about it, they're probably serving someone much higher up on the food chain that we've seen in Super Sentai. So, again, with the villains and how this first episode went, it feels like that Super Sentai is going back to basics, like when we had Kira Major, because we've got villains, they've got a major goal, the villains are sort of like collecting the sort of screams of humanity or something like that to power up whatever they're doing, and then they're also turning objects into monsters of the week, much like in Power Rangers with what Lord Zed did, but I'm sure that Super Sentai has done that before as well, because you get to see the wedding dress that Mira was wearing get turned into the monster of the week, so we've got that going on. And the villain designs I really do like. I really do like their suits and their costume designs they've got going on for the villains. They are evil space aliens, but it seems like they're evil space aliens that booked it to Earth, because when they do arrive, I believe they do say that they're the first to arrive here, so first come, first serve. So it makes me wonder if more of these Hashiruns or all these different sort of groups of aliens are going to arrive on Earth, trying to take it over. But we get our Red Ranger, he's the first one to morph in this episode. His fight scene is really freaking cool. I really did enjoy his fight scene where he showcases off the weapon, like the Boom Boom Saber or whatever you want to call it, where it's like the Nintendo Switch or the Wii wheel that he uses in the battle, which got a laugh out of me. And not only that, I should bring this up, Rika Matsumoto, known for playing Satoshi or Ash Ketchum in the Japanese dub of Pokemon. She voices the little companion robot that does turn into the mecha, the Megazord, and she's a blast to hear when you hear her voice acting, because she is sort of doing that Ash Ketchum, that Satoshi voice for the robot, but it's so nice to hear her because the performance that she puts in, because she's like pushing 50 or something like that, and she is just very, very, probably 50, I'm probably mistaken, but she is like putting a lot of energy into that role, and I really do like it. She's a treat to hear. I'm glad that we're hearing her in other stuff after Pokemon has now ended. Well, Ash has journey in Pokemon has now ended. It's cool to see her and stuff as well. That is great to see. So, one character I also do like, and I feel like their energy that they put into their performance is really great as well, which is Mira, the Pink Ranger. She's a lot of fun as well, like at the end of the episode where she's telling like the fiance that she's supposed to marry at the airport. She's saying, oh, I'm not going to be with you, I'm going to be a BoonBoomger now. And she's just very chipper, very cheerful, and you can see that in the next episode preview where she's jumping around and doing peace signs and victory signs everywhere. Like, she looks like she's going to be a lot of fun with that performance that the actress is putting in there. But not only that, the Red Ranger, Taya, and Handle, the Blue Ranger, they seem pretty cool. Taya seems like the laid-back, chill Red Ranger we've got, and then Hando, the Blue Ranger, is the stickler for the rules that wants to follow the protocol. So we've got that going on. You do see the Orange Ranger in this episode, but he doesn't morph. He's sort of like watching the flying car fly off, and he's sucking on his lollipop. So I'm sure he'll show up in like maybe episode 3 or 4 or something like that as they introduce all the team members as the show goes on. But from what I remember, they operate separately. So in this episode, like, you do get to see red, pink, and blue team up in this episode, and they sort of do their big group Sentai pose together, which is really great. And the Pink Ranger, Mira, she's never seen any of this before. She's never been a part of like a Sentai team before, so when everyone else is doing their poses and stuff like that, she puts like a lot of energy into it, and that was a lot of fun as well to see in this episode as well. Like I said, Mira, the actress who plays her, really freaking great. Like, I really do enjoy her performance in this episode. Now, one thing that was sort of taking me out of the episode for a little bit was after they destroy the monster of the week, it goes into sort of like the highway space, I believe they call, and this is where they sort of summon all their vehicles and they start chasing the monster of the week through this sort of dimension. And it's very Mario Kart-esque with how the episode goes on, because like the bad guys are throwing bombs and stuff like that at them. They're dodging with their cars and stuff like that. They're trying to figure out which lane they want to get in. That was a lot of fun, but I feel like it did go on for maybe it felt longer than expected for me. But I'm hoping we don't get that every week when they fight the monster of the week. Like, we don't get a scenario like that every week. We probably will, because they've got to show off the highway with that CGI set that they built, but we'll see if we get it every week for that as well. But the mech fight that we get at the end of this episode was really great as well. I do like seeing the BoonBoomger mech in action now that we're seeing it transformed. I think it looks really freaking great, and I can't wait to see all the different attachments and all the different sort of forms it gets with all the different sidecars that can attach itself to it. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that as well. But episode 1 of BoonBoomger I really did enjoy. I am curious to see where the show is going to go from here, because after watching Don Brothers and King Oja, this show is going to have a lot to live up to, especially following the hype around the King Oja finale. So I do wonder where BoonBoomger is going to go from here. I'm definitely going to keep watching it, and I'm definitely going to keep reviewing it on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But if you watched the episode, what are your overall thoughts on it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Well, with that said, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, bye.